My name is Kelly Boland. I was born May 4th, 1982. I'm currently 29 years of age, and I was born with a genetic disorder called tuberous sclerosis complex. And it is abbreviated as TSC because Tourette syndrome was recently recognized, so it wasn't called TS anymore. But some people refer it as TS. So I'm just going to go by TSC to liberate any confusion. Alright, so here we go. When I was about 6 months of age, I started having seizures, and my parents were very concerned about me. And they took me to see a doctor, and they thought, oh, she's just scared, but my parents knew something was wrong. You know, I was also having these episodes where my body would just stiffen up, and I would clench my fists, you know, and it'd be like that for like a few seconds, and then I would become limp or cry, you know, or do both. I don't know, but at least that's what the paperwork says. But yeah, I was about 6 months of age. I had infantile spasms and myoclonic seizures. I was having to be injected every day. Not fun. And so it's like, you know, my parents, you know, just, they were scared. They didn't know what was going to become of me. And I'm kind of glad I'm alive, you know, because I never seen a cardiologist when I was little, because, you know, infants who are born with TSC, it's very common for them to have heart tubers, and sometimes it can result in death, and you know, I wouldn't want to wish that upon anyone. And also, you know, it's really tough on some parents because, you know, if their child is having seizures and nothing is helping, you know, brain surgery is the last resort, and sometimes, you know, they don't make it through brain surgery, and that's why I think TSC should be recognized, because sometimes it can cause death, and I think that's what my parents were really worried about. My mom didn't want to hear anything about it because she didn't want to hear any horror stories on what it does. When I was about 3 years old, I had to take a speech therapy class because my vocabulary skills were not of the appropriate level. And I kind of thank them because, you know, who knows, you know, throughout school, I was always 2 years behind in school around that, you know, around that age range, and if I hadn't have gone through that, who knows, I'd probably be in 4th grade with a kindergarten mind capacity. I don't know. But, so school was very challenging, you know, I mean, just learning new things was always so confusing, and then, you know, sibling rivalry and everyone making fun of you, you know, just sibling rivalry, you know, that's tough as it is, but, you know, when you're having a, you know, developmental disorder, and you're kind of slower in learning, you know, it's even harder and more frustrating. But I noticed that I was different by the time I was around 7 or 8, because that's when the angiofibromas on the face started forming. And ever since then, I wanted to talk to those who have the same thing as I did. Back in '89, I went and saw an eye doctor, and they found a calcification deposit in my right eye, kind of like behind the retina, or, you know, somewhere around there, but it wasn't on the retina. But I'm blind in 1/16 of that part of my eye, but it's not to where it's noticeable. I don't even notice it, so it's really no big deal. I'm able to wear contacts. I'm wearing contacts now. So I've been I stopped taking my seizure medicine at about 7 years of age. But I noticed something really strange, when I was 14. I'd be on the bus and my body would twitch whenever the sunlight would escape through the shadows of the trees, and I didn't really think anything of it. I just thought it was normal because that's just me, being me. But they were myoclonic seizures. They come back, but I didn't know that until I was about 24. And so I was untreated for 9 or 10 years, and I also have the angiomyolipomas on my right kidney. It's not severe enough to where it can cause kidney failure or lower my kidney functioning. So that's good. I'm kind of glad, because there's been cases where people would die of kidney failure due to TSC. Let's see, what else? And I got the Sjogren patch on my lower back. For those of you who don't know what it is, it's kind of like a skin lesion, and it doesn't hurt. It's very, not at all. It doesn't even hurt at all. It's very painless. It resembles the rind of an orange peel, and sometimes I'll touch it, just because I think it feels cool, And another thing I've touched is I got kind of like a growth in the back of here, and it almost kind of looks like this one right here, right there. So it's the same thing back here, but I kind of feel it because I used to pretend like it was my antenna. I don't know why, because I feel like my senses were heightened there growing up. I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, throughout high school I was very ashamed of what I had, because I was always constantly getting teased and ridiculed by how I looked, and so it really, really brought along some, psychological problems. And my home life wasn't all that great either. I felt like I didn't have enough support. I also have behavioral problems. I was a screamer. So any type of sibling rivalry came about, I would scream. I would chase my siblings around the house with a screwdriver, a broom, anything I could find. I actually dented the deadbolt on my parents' door, and I had to pay for it through my birthday money, which was not cool. But yeah, if I didn't get what I wanted, I would just throw a temper tantrum like a 5-year-old, 4-year-old, and it's just, because it's like, I felt like I wasn't getting enough attention, and I kind of felt jealous of my younger brothers and sister, because, they were, I was about 6 years older than my youngest sister, and 8 years older than my youngest brother, and I felt jealous because they kind of took all that attention away from me, and I think that's part of why the behavioral problems happened, and amongst other childhood trauma things that I want to leave behind. But as I got older, I have begun to accept TSC for what it is. I don't feel sorry that I have it. I don't hate having it. And, people don't like me for who I am. That's their problem. I learned to accept it. Some people just, they don't care. But the reason why I believe I have it is so that I could tell people what it is, And weird thing is, every time I tell them about TSC, it actually makes me feel really good inside. I don't know why. I do. I feel really good inside. But it's just sometimes really hard for me to find the wording on things. So I don't mind telling about TSC at all. in case you're wondering what that thought is right there, I went to the dermatologist 2 days ago, and I got I kind of got my face burned. He injected me with some kind of numbing agent, and I think it was Novocaine, and then he took a razor blade and he cut the really, really pokey ones off, and then he seared them, and so I'm gonna be scabbed for a couple weeks. But you know, it's really kind of hard to get rid of the fibromas if you don't have insurance. Dermabrasion is another option, or laser surgery. If you're really that uncomfortable with it, I kind of want to get it done, actually, because I don't know, I look like I'm always blushing. But you should not feel ashamed for what you have. You know, you were born, if you're born with anything, you know, you should not feel sorry, because there's really nothing you can do about it. You know, you just go on with your life and live it the best you can. And you know, all you teenage girls out there, I know you ladies are, you know, really into your looks. You know what? You really don't look that bad, you know. You know, true people would not even really notice it. You know what? I look at all these people with TSC that I've been speaking to. I don't really notice any difference. They're all very smart people. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because of two people, Jack and Walter. And Jack, he has been through so many brain surgeries, and he's done so well. He's actually very smart, and he's, you know, in Orlando right now, and he is going around bringing recognition, and he tells me all these things that I don't even know about, and I just find it so amusing. And you know, it's a choice on whether you want TSC to take over your life. It's a choice if you want to use it as a crutch. It's a choice if you want to use it as a stepping stone and move forward and bring recognition. How you live your life just depends on the actions you make, and you know, the choices you choose. It doesn't matter, TSC or not, it does not matter. Life is what you make of it. And sometimes, you know, you just gotta deal with things. And that's pretty much all I have to say about TSC for me. I may have all these problems, but you know what? I'm happy with who I am. And there's a lot of people out there who are not happy with who they are. And so what I say to you is, love yourself and accept yourself. Tell your story with a smile, and people will admire you for your bravery. Thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful day.